All right. Yamamu ina achi. Yamamu akwaba. Yamamu ajoni ha. Afcons Jersey Radio. We thank the Lord Almighty once again for another beautiful Saturday morning. And we have come your way with another special segment, Sports. A good year one some and a brasso say a de abramo. Na a dear and some and a echo chico bramine. They said the Black Stars of Ghana, Jina Kono, Yama watching na watching a Wajina Kone. Na omweko piemo ko divoe ye didi nkomo ye be hwe Black Stars from who sisi omayo na ade na ye hwe kwanse emrantie kudusu mu deda you Jordan ayu Inaki Williams Aledu sedu mu ade na ye hwe kwan aso wonu betimi perform wonders bi anase ye Black Stars nsa de aya na aye one go project no and the tisima obua anase BBC asofo ni bi ahyehyehye nkom say Black Stars pa afi omokoji cap na ba entini na no yebesi nkundwa na ya discuss onya bre na ya ndwe Ghana boy bo say Black Stars ko bobo no mu wini pe won say kromo aye dasonko almost says a goes na the nije surunku bia bakrom. It means that football and as a sports in general it brings some vibes to the people. And found one amayosema ebi ohawo binisie ni awraho ni atete abagana opa ma Black Stars nkobobo winning ma Black Queens nkobobo winning ma Black Maidens nkobobo winning Black Starlight nkobobo winning Black Starlight nkobobo winning Black Matches nkobobo winning ubom se edi nije biaba na chese ye twaye ni hwe ho ye na ye tuturu ye ni omoye ya ho nso betimi ababua ma Ghana adi asomdwene ni jaba ene tie besi nkunwe yi dwendwen li abaka fa Black Stars team ya kwen ho ene di abaka efise ebre no so a ye bebie na wonso wa bakire wadwene ewo ho pepepe na bibia ya kama without much ado my men switch camp na men studio bi sanse agudie mu akomfo no we okomfo because oye ba ko agudie komfo tetelete why ready sports writer say what the tidbit around the globe every ye we are no ya tiesimu yeah be share what we can do to revive our sports and also what should we expect from the Black Stars of Ghana as they are in Côte d'Ivoire in the Afcons African Cup of Nations. Omobetimi akodi kuru na ba na anase ombe qualify akọ finals dem omo ntimi njemba ana ombeko akọji bronze ana ombeko moyi friends ombe cross omo group stages no omo abaka so ya de stay tuned from ya beko ara pay me be dig media ho chia me ana Willie Ashley akura ewa ha ana Joe Archery if you ura onso baba wonder versatile be bia na sika ni twa ebreso amatianka mamenko studio bi na me ne sports writer encoding kobo na ye hwede yeko sports writer telete and say adiachi experience afie experience yo
yeah come on tell me okay
as how can some more afie experience what dey mu
ultimate ball life and ball life without experience in the life like won't fear with things you've gone through, things you've witnessed, things they've said against you, things you've said against people, and all those things. You now gather to your experience. You learn, unlearn. So, your experience, our gather our moment, your focus and your projections ahead in life. These things are your experience, and our ball is also we very careful in certain situations because. Bibia to miss you all right, but once you are careful, you know how to send your bed to 2 and more so actually any experience now Ubompa and Yamanadum so can one. I think you can go far. So these things should be the pillars of every mankind. Irrespective of where you find yourself and who you are.
Brand you. That when you have a frat. You need some my Mama Rose. Na yankan chance Omano Yadawase. Oranum Yamfu and Joe Watch ne Abeku and Nebushi na Mama Rose. It's here wanna pay Ma Babs Coca, Mama Georgina, Mama Vida, Ajuku, Vida Boche, Mommy Na, JCOP, Mama Matilda Japan, Felix Japan, Mama Becky, Omodosopa, Mesa Kofi Opombrenya, Mesa James Jimmy, Mesa Dogbe, Omodosu, Minimsa pay. Moshe yaba junjuna good yehui mama ye na yemre na yama junjuna black stars when we say ekoyiya ekoma ye na. All right Joe and you not pay ewo ho na ye draso.
Right, Joe Ochoe, the writer, Italia, Matnasia, good year Musem, and some Mama Boboa. I know, and I made a babesumo and de anopena, Udwinichimu and Denon Comona, and I air bar near Dia, and de bedroom. Black Stars of Ghana, Timono, Ochina, original Kono, share the Afghan Cup of Nations. I say 42 years ni Ghana, bet me winning Afcon na, and home como eba. Express ni bia kasa ni adia coach Chris Hutton so or the komoka kra aba ahead of the game no sa so ene be room na ya hwe eye Sonny Badu ono so no room na chese ba no eye gospel enyum tofo a ya de pa ono so de komo bia ba ajote 6 pointers a o hwe no se Black Stars team no adhere to a ebetumi abo na team no etumi win Afcon no afi no be room na ya hwe African Cup of Nations na kasampo no ball no mo ball no your friend saying that's a football ball na mo de took pitch no so mo ball no ni din e de saying and I no cup no if fan e buy na fi ya mamo African Cup of Nations no teams are omo win Afcon no do ni adia na fi no ye room e de kakra so apemo so achemo e teams no those 24 teams and omobo Afcon no ye de ye ne be chima hwe captains are just almost no mo lead teams e de apa African Cup of Nations na ma 10 key players are almost Afcon we also we expect na chese nyometumi akoye na afi no hwe prize monies African Cup of Nations no this time around no painful atumu e de akoye ni mu pa sika be mu mo ni nyina e de breakdown no e be bramo na afi no ye remo na e de foreign news kakra de apemo so na ya hwe fixtures and so de be koso ni adia na Afcon fixtures no so no e de hon so ebebram o jumedi no so dan de nyina me ka chem sen sam no ne mu api se Pakistan for Tom Brown a ayepin so se pinka so hwehwehwe woto tetelete no a era Joe Ochoe the writer Italia matna se amede in command ebra wo na yen hyase free a year women's under 20 team no when say Ghana team no and they almost omugina kono pa omo any Senegal and ebo eno FIFA under 20 women's World Cup qualifiers Colombia and Chelsea Ghana team no omugina kono omuhwem so metumi ewine qualify game way na omo Senegal Dakar and Chelsea first leg in Airbaso and there yebo 2 o'clock and sa game no etumi Airbaso ho no ma wodi oni chemu dia na just a coach Yusuf Bazigi e de komaba se team no ahwe players no assess Bia weather condition good injury so no omuni injury concerns bia na fe ban pressure so pressure bia so and that team no so mon corner chinchine twom ko wini na mom no oman kasa sake omon up say kwan bia so game omon Senegal be born and no so mutumi wini na fe no return leg no so mo Ghana no mutumi wini return leg na fe no qualifies no omon ko moni man kasa to no de wa wi ataso pa as under 20 female head coach ne de wa wi ataso so the team no be qualify ekopiem World Cup na Sintisan any command Yusuf Bazigi edi atu enim na ye kan sa na yenko African Cup of Nations na Ghana Black Stars we do ni chemu na chese time a omokopie mu Cote d'Ivoire no where Thursday, Wednesday no more Thursday and Friday on my training and then nkoma Benson be light training ahead of Ochina good big gamer Ghana any Kevet airport no shene so mami se Ghana good B na Ghana wudi weni chemu na chese ni Kevet Egypt ana afeso omanya ye friend Mozambique ene nyina no ye wo good back mu achese Ghana team no omawi atasa pass e kwan biaso no el send mo qualify come name na wonim said the last 2 editions of the Afcon no enya dia nyoma etumi akoye ama Ghana cry until this time around the team no ehwe no mo so betumi qualify akomanim since 1982 Ghana etumi kopiem Egypt dabi Libya mutumi EGA Libya 82 World Cup no enya dia since that time till now no Ghana Black Stars team no etumi win Afcon nibi na wodo ni chemu so na chese team no de was say kwambia so 42 years ni no mo hwe na nyama tumi koye after say AS Senegal 92 2010 and after 2015 no mutumi room to the finals no nyina no enya dia Black Stars team no etumi EGA Afcon nibi until still omo awiata so pass kwambia so no was say this Afcon de also mutumi ewi ni achese nkomo efi oba no enya di kuma na wodo ni chemu a goalkeeper George Owu who is a former goalkeeper national team no wa no watch and bobre wa goalkeeper so am ice coach Kumasi Asanko doko nyina pe no den koma kakra aba wato edi amane coach Chris Hilton our catcher is a goalkeeping department no we won say goalkeeper so Lawrence Atiziki and afa so Jojo Walcott and Richard Ofori there ono as a former goalkeeper no wa assess these three goalkeepers who say was say coach Chris Hilton was take it to Abrantia your friend Richard Ofori no number one goalkeeper so na be obetumi aboa o say Abrantia friend Richard Ofori no experience or what dey come kind pa esen Lawrence Atiziki and after Jojo Walcott it's na kebeya na ka goalkeeper your friend Richard Ofori no ono and chess ono coach Chris Hilton the number one goalkeeper and so come former goalkeeper Emma Kumasi Asante Kotoko and afa so no Ash Gold and Ghana Black Stars na no dey come kakra aba yetu amamo ewo dwumedi so na wodo ni chemu so a na chese wuremu to ya preko ono so no former Ghana international and dey no coach out share no bobre pa Ghana and dey no ade komo aba ochemu se was set Black Stars of Ghana no say nyama betimi akoyi ama team ne dia was say coach technical team players no na after the management committee of the Black Stars ni na no obi atoto no nyoma yi na chese omde bibia nhihya ya chese betimi aboa na team no etimi akokodi Ivory Coast ni na no onfa to na ko mu na chese nyama entumi enkoyi pa Emma Ghana gidie say etimi place our things in order dia ebetumi aboa na Black Stars of Ghana so no etumi ewi ni kruwa no na okasa we ye pe no na chese si de bi yewremu national command so no esi etie Ghana Football Association president ketie so kwekwa akache onso de kakra e de ato edwa o chem se Afcon we no o kache Ghana fo nyina se ubia enfa support no enter the Black Stars of Ghana echi esan said this particular Afcon de no as FA president no was say otumi eche de bobre na chese de be obetumi aboa na team no so etumi akokodi akom ne no nyina no wa ni nyina chese be koso na wa ye na mbom no Ghana fo so no o say ye bompa ni bi Emma Black Stars of Ghana no bia enfa support no enter the Black Stars of Ghana echi se na be Afcon we no enya betumi akoye ama team no nti FA president get to kureku kakra ono so odi aba eno no na ye kan sa na esi de bi ye wremu to former Ivorian international DJ Tabiri Drogba also no koma kakra e de atudwa o se Afcon we no o hwese nyama esi koso pa dia ne man IFL no Cote d'Ivoire ena ede no just Afcon no omoagia cheso mu hosti nti se we no one of the ade bi a cheso no aye ne the say for the first time no no since time Afcon no etumi ekopiem wo maso in 1984 Cote d'Ivoire etumi hosti Afcon no omu hosti biom up until now no the second time and they no be hosti Afcon so say dia aye ne the pa na mom no ohun say Afcon we no one of the most beautiful Afcons etumi paso enteno obia support of Fanta Cote d'Ivoire man echi na fe nyoma entumi enkoye emom na Afcon no so no one of the most successful Afcon Cup of Nations omotumi a witness into way any command DJ Drogba former Chelsea international and after no Cote d'Ivoire player or the atujenuma yeton amamu jumedi so na yanko Sonny Badu when say Sonny Badu de bano gospel dia cheso ya de pa ha ye mtuni afi osan ban say ministry gospel ministry ni ade o ya de pa I mean na sorry ni ade na no ade obeye concert bi o Ghana na cheso bi abona baso ani ade nteno Sonny Badu de obi anim no uremu UK dia wagine di mpa mo uremu Ghana so wagine di mo ni ade na waba church on same that to Facebook na me na me say be share send nyoma AC koso na me copy ni Facebook handle na Sonny Badu wa point out 6 key points no ogidi yes as a Black Stars team no focus was so betumi aboa na team no etumi akomanim Afcon we ase na o say number 1 say wohwe or say wakache place and say number 1 or say reduce time you spend on social media. Into wakache place and say time omo spend on social media no e wo so omo twa so na say bia omo jai cry sense Afcon we no enya goodie. Or say number 1 omo reduce the time they spend on the social media and focus on the needful. Into when you come out so about the about. Number 2 or say reduce time you chat with wives or girlfriends. You need sleep. Into number 2 no so the bad two Black Stars team no for say they should reduce the time they chat with their girlfriends and their wives. They need sleep. Not just say this no etumi aboa team no. Number 3 or say you guys are young, so I'm not worried about you sneaking women to your rooms, but let me just caution you, it will drain you spiritually. Into number 3 no so the bad catch a place and say on him so me young yes na say we players there guess na be ba na dia but I say mu say no guess no mo ba no na mo ni omo sum san wo me dia na be dwani mo spiritually and some person mo spiritual level na kosoro na nyama timi koyi ma mo dia mo njai girlfriends and some no say be sneaky girls say dia camp na chesa mo de mo ni omo tins nya dia na nya dia be boa ntino number 3 futu a chesa so ne ba say dia mom no. Number 4 or see be united, and because of that no one should look down on the other. Or see be united, and because of that no one should look down on the other. Now who do any chimo and just said the audible and say just obiano o hwa obianya focus na afi no munya united na chese nya afi na wo je ball obeya on say o de woni Cristiano Ronaldo na say Messi bi e pitch no so person twetwe obi a unya ball na wo player and say wo teammate e ho na ma pass na chese obia enko nim ni atade nti we any come so ne bad so dia ba na fourth a fit one no or see play with passion and fight till your last breath. Or say ball na mo ball no mo say Ghana phone na tamochi to mo fa passion and ball no na mo ball no to your last breath na chese nyama entum enkoye and I number 6 no say lastly bring the cup home. Go Ghana, go Black Stars. And to weigh any 6-pointer just a Sonny Badu and there are 2 in match just a old preachy and also announce actually the Black Stars team no so much me this way between me boa not just a trophy no so no I Ghana mine dia now you can say I see no they be you room when they ma catch them say a bulletin no more of the Afcon news now they be mamu more it's answer and then the Afghan Cup of Nations no e chassis na me mamu e players just and they no omo lead omo national teams aba Afcon na say on say Afcon when 24 teams and I just say omo si akan e Cote d'Ivoire enye fidi agro. Now what do you want teams no say and captains no din esi etie Algeria Riyad Mahrez ne ono Algeria former captain afi Angola so no Alfredo Kulimbe Ribeiro ono NHS som captain. Burkina Faso Abrantie fe ne Bertrand Traoré urem wo Cameroon so captain no din Eddie Vincent Abubakar uko Keveda captain ye fe Ryan Mendes afi uko DR Congo so captain ye fe Kanchel Mbemba afi uko Egypta captain Mo Salah uko Equatorial Guinea so captain no ye fe Emiliano Sui ana afi no urem to team ye fe Ghana dia ye captain no Andre Morgan de Ayu afi Guinea team no captain ye fe Nabi Keita urem to Guinea Bissau so captain no ye fe Jonas Mendes afi uko Cote d'Ivoire captain no ye fe Serge Aurier uko Morocco captain ye fe Roman Sias uko Mozambique captain ye fe Evergreen Elias Pelembe afi uko Namibia captain no ye fe Petros Shintembi afi uko Nigeria captain ye fe Ahmed Musa. Senegal captain no Sadio Mane afi South Africa so no captain Rowan Williams uko Tanzania captain ye fe Mbauna Samantha afi urum to Tunisia so captain ye fe Yusuf Insakni afi urum to omaya friend Zambia so Abrantie friend Lumbambo Musonda ono any captain and afi Mali so no captain no Hamari Traoré uko Gambia so the Gambia no some captain your friend Omar Koli and afi no Mauritania captain your friend Ali Abaib into wemo NHS players some lead omo mind as captains such as Omohwe na enyoma etumi akoye amomo Afcon Cup of Nations na say and that's not the business and tie dia just expectations crap on at saying my memo 10 key players and then no room to the Afcon Cup of Nations will be expect omo so betumi achom bobre pa e honum Senegal omo ye defending champions yen form nhyase Sadio Mane ewom say we free Liverpool okopiem wo Bayern Munich we free honum and they are na say e was Saudi league no mo and at so che no bobre e honum na so no one the key players among for edo money bedi ne chipa saso na Cameroon om captain ye fa ne Vincent Abubakar ono so no chess among for the omudio money bedi ne chi wurom Guinea so a om branti ye fa ne Sherry Guresi ono so no chess among for expect a lot from him after other key player among for be expect a lot from him no branti ye fa ne Sebastian Haller ono so esia kan ema Cote d'Ivoire branti ye fa ne Mohamed Amaru ono so no Algeria for player chess among for be expertise pass so betumi a chen bobre honum uko Nigeria so Victor Osimhen ono any player among for be expect a lot from him saso na Morocco so no Asidin Onahi ono so ya branti bia chess among for so betumi a chen bobre pa ama Morocco mana wa fe na Afcon na say Mohamed Kudus esi ya branti bi esi akan Ghana among for so be expect pa so betumi a chen bobre wa Afcon we ase uko Egypt so ma branti a e fe Mohamed Salah ono so no people are expecting a lot from him pa our Afcon na na fe no krakra mu no room to Namibia on my branch here if any Peter Shululi on so ya branch be a man for be expect a lot from him to wemo any 10 key players Afcon we no a man for any dom we papa adaje any poso cry wo dwumedi na say na udu ni chemu so a na je sente no nkomo kakra efi eye kafa so ya ba ene say ende no ka for so no omato eye prize money ene so no Afcon no so no this year no ebe koso no na yen sase every quarter finalist honum no obia teams o me room to quarter finals sika omobegini 1.3 million US dollars and so free group stage a round of 16 SN room to the quarter finals there 16 teams no obia benya 1.3 million US dollars afa so ultimately qualify from the quarter finals to semi finals no so and so would when chiemu asika obetumi nya nie 2.5 million US dollars the semi finals teams no 4 teams no sikombenya 2.5 million US dollars each and after no utoso second sika obenya 4 million US dollars utoso second 4 million US dollars and obeji and after utumi wini trophy na wini trophy no so sika obenya nie 7 million US dollars into way NHS a breakdown no say na esi etie from the quarter finals to the ultimate no chasana sika obetumi nya eno no na chesa Afcon no so no kakra every cap asweye enso aba yeton amamo dwumedi no so enso no na ye kan sa no next no ye nwramu to the African Cup of Nations na nkasa ende no say Afcon no eba be hyase na udwo ni chiemu a match ball no ball na dey to form no say kan na e wo jabolani mu ni ade na ende no Afcon na so no ball no mo be ball no ye frɛ no Poko sa NHS Afcon ball no sa na ye frɛ no na no ye de to Laurent Poko wonim say Ivorian national team 1970 NHS Ivorian national team no any Egypt boy and omni Ethiopia ball African Cup of Nations game na sa game no NHS Cote d'Ivoire win 6-1 na win by 6-1 na Brantia ye frɛ Laurent Poko and they no or rest in peace ono etumi share 5 goals na since 1970 till now Yembo African Cup of Nations match just a player back etumi gina na so etumi ashe 5 goals in a match da Yembo African Cup of Nations enu ABC da nteno ono pani obi a etumi ayesa history way enam so ena matches mpemfo etumi ahwe se no ball na ombebo no yemfa ne din ento so na chese ntumi mboa pa na African Cup of Nations no so no enyama ntumi enko yepa entedi no se hu sende Afcon na hyase na players no kick ball omo ball free kick chese omo ball penalties ni ade pass hu se ball no omo ball no ye fe no Poko omo le Laurent Poko 1970 hero do tumi ye ema Cote d'Ivoire mining and day no or more kind of African Cup of Nations last year and also no yet amamo now African Cup of Nations we 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations we end the second time Cote d'Ivoire host Afcon no the first time Cote d'Ivoire host the African Cup of Nations no 1984 since that time everything now and yadi omotime wini host the African Cup of Nations now we NHS first time since 1984 nte yana so no machine so amana dwumadie no shase and the 13th of January na abanewe on the 11th of February and after no 24 teams and omo chom bobra chese we hwe de chese 5 host cities and a 6 stadium and omo yusu na chese nyoma etumi akoye de so no adaje eni poso kra na stadium no we hwe capacity minimum capacity no 15,000 and after the back so 20,000 abako so 40,000 and so no adaje eni poso bi hwe no se nyoma ebetumi akoye pa nti sana African Cup of Nations na nkoma no so no esi etie na groups no group A to group F, group A to group F. Now group A to group F no when them say 2 teams and I just want to qualify from each group from group A to group F. 2 teams first and second number qualify acco to the round of 16. Now also group A to group F no say first and second be qualify for round of 16 and next say how 12 and after no on say third best placed teams 4 until I no see another table or no teams are or more group no munyo beto so third no you be rate or more point afi no you be share goals or more share goals I share against them you share or more discipline about no red card yellow card near dia na afi no or more team their analysis no more table 4 third best placed teams normal koka the teams are already qualified from the group no na chese no 16 na ya bought round of 16 no the sana no so come no esi etie intende Afcon no de shase enda adaje eni poso kura na odure mu a se na nso come kakra no so no esi etia ne adeadea na chese no so no ohwa na chese African Cup of Nations day no Cote d'Ivoire group A omo any Guinea Bissau na ebo 3:00 p.m. higher time no 3:00 p.m. te ya na wa hye no so ama but Ghana de ne omo mu so GMT na think 8:00 be 8:00 p.m. cause 5 hours difference na adeadea te sana command so no esi etie na wo hye sanyama esi ekoso a na chese Cote d'Ivoire team no project ni hye nsem about the construction of schools, hospitals, ni nyama nyina na Sadio Mane at the contract in a man way back by 7 years ago cra na that time no and na chese oni Sadio Mane be father and for chese oni e close relationship na one time bi and na chese ni wife ene ni baba na Aisha Tambe omso mko akosra Sadio Mane ebusua nto mko ho na Sadio Mane so no wa baba no mko apo mu nim tell mo aba so mo baba e gathering say ja mo ba ne ye papa ye we a you can say juma boma enye issue bia nto mo aba for visiting and Satana girl need the 16 years and Sadio Mane who girl no say kai we ni oba no we any oba no say Sadio Mane a girl no from top to down or say that's right we ni oba me pe nti no you see after the gathering now ne wife ne man esa ba efie no ana no pono nimpo se sana Sadio Mane sport ne baba ne so pe no nti no on the name ani ade until one time be and on the Sadio Mane di nkomo and Sadio Mane say oh baba ne wife ba ye fie a on be twen nkomo ani ade on be gathering ye didi ye kama ba ma sport baba no twa pa anti person ne nanti and baba says we are sure o say ai also okay Sadio we are sure there we are humble guy ma for a very long time near me no one anti ache o contract you believe him it's now the amam na me ye ni ade o project na me na me ye ni ade nti no say I mean when me baba na o feeling e bia why not I mean also dey waje din come but when me say girl no so nti to bona cheche ne nyoma fa no aso ba fa ne say aso o sister fa na aso bibia na fa ne grow na nyoma ntimi koyie nti sana enkomo atumi course between Aisha Tamba ne papa and Sadio Mane crapo and sana Sadio Mane oje girl no contact us so ne bon komo since time we did 16 years to the time we did 18 years or they are worried no na baba wa no endra wonu say the video bi baya or call back to school no oshana school nkola ni no bia ne colleagues obia just man fans sa obia person in trap picture na Sadio Mane catch ne say once or young no ni sika de ono ompe by ban sika no Sadio Mane no obi pa it no once wa ban de make sure social media on the nam ho empire bompai mo e ma family na nyama ntimi koye na however no se wo school bibia me ana me fa onka na afesu nkomo asanso aba ene se yesi time Sadio Mane share girl no wa bo girl no kasa school fees oni nyina ono ana otua ka odemo ni nyina ono ana otua ena sese anu nkomo asanso aba ene se papa ne se o expect se Sadio Mane obetimi ahwe ne ba ne yi na onu se Sadio Mane so no religious background se no e hampo no or ne ba no ahwe ni papa ensa nti we ene nkomo endra betumi ekɔ so between nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ na afei no Aisha Tamba ne papa regarding Sadio Mane ne aware no na moment den nkɔmɔ aba ne sɛ ababawa no ɛde Sadio Mane de honeymoon bi eni hɔ esansa Sadio Mane ɛwɔ Afcon ne Senegal concentrate na ɛsɛ ababawa no so no ɔwɔ exams ɛwɔ so ɔtwerɛ ɛwɔ school nti no wakɔ back to school akɔ twerɛ exams nti ne nkɔmɔ a nso latest update if Sadio Mane akachi aba yetu amamuso ewo dwumedi na ase eno no na uremu to Man City a Erling Haaland and then Pep Guardiola e de abetudwa say Erling Haaland Abrante still injury situation no e ha ne pa interno na me aduma February and Abrante betumi bounce back no wa sha say obobo ama Manchester City team no say City bobo na wo hu Haaland wo mu dia e so hu ne sa Abrante no epra e na adokro no a enya dia obetumi si aka ho no menso nkoma no etumi eba na yewremu na yenhwe ye matches nso eba so kakra wa Europe na afie no yemfansi ni ade uremu to La Liga na games ahodo na beba so endra na ehya Sevilla omutina fie ema Deportivo Alaves ebo mo eka miensa Sevilla etimu mienu na ende games no say na City Las Palmas omo ene Villarreal ebo omo abo 43 minutes nie Las Palmas lead Villarreal kabako a omo Villarreal entumi NT Roma Yoka and Celta de Vigo bebo Atletico Club de Bilbao so no Uremu so a omo so ne Real Sociedad bebo Robert Betis omo ene Granada bebo nyame ademo china Almeria omo ne Girona bebo ena afe no Cadiz bobo ko no ene Valencia enso bebo La Liga fixtures no sana nso nkoma no so no esi etie ewo ho no ma yetin amamo ewo dwumedi na se na Uremu to sana komo ukọ Spain ho no ma Super Copa final no so no baso Real Madrid any Barcelona and Omobo El Clasico Super Copa final Real Madrid any Barcelona airborne nyame admo china 2 p.m. and as I game no etumi ebaso uremu to the Italian Serie A so a matches a eno so ebaso no say na eno so no esi etie Girona omo any Torino bebo Napoli any Salernitana ebo Hellas Verona's any Empoli ebo AC Monza omo any Inter bebo nyame adumo china games a so ebaso no say na esi etie Lazio omo any Lecce ebo Cagliari omo any Bologna bebo Fiorentina omo any Udinese edi bo any AC Milan omo so any AS Roma enso bebo na fi Monday no so no Atalanta omo any Frosinone enom di bueni a ewo Italian Serie A no mo yenko the Bundesliga no mo endra wo hwe a na chese bubu ko efe ne Bayern Munich omutumi gino mo na so eche Hoffenheim ebo mo ekamiensa Hoffenheim entumi anti ewo hono ma Hurricane Otont atna Emma Bobokwa yefen Bayern Munich and Daniels no movie closer to Bayer 04 Leverkusen with just a point on which so me atake lead no our Bundesliga no and the games no RB Leipzig Bobokwa no omo any Frankfurt and Airborne Freiburg omo any Union Berlin bebo Mainz 05 omo any Wolfsburg Airborne Cologne omo any Heidenheim and so ebebo saso ena Augsburg omo any Bayern 04 Leverkusen bebo and afin Darmstadt omo any Borussia Dortmund enso bebo Sunday Bochum omo any Werder Bremen ena ebo ena afin Borussia Mönchengladbach omo any bobo kwa efeno Stuttgart enso edi buenim ewo Bundesliga no mo na ye kansa na ese no ye remu to French League 1 na no so no fixtures a Airbus no ye fantu munim endra ena Olympique Marseille omo ne Strasbourg ebo ya obi ehye ne nyonko eka baako and then games are Airbus no Monaco omo any Stade de Reims ebo Stade de Rennes omo ne OGC Nice ena ebo nyame aduma ochina games are Airbus no se na esi etie Lille Boboko no omo any Lorraine ena ebo ena fi Nantes omo any Clermont Foot ebo Metz omo any Toulouse ebo Stade de Brest omo any Montpellier ebo Le Havre omo any Olympique Lyon ebo Lens omo any PSG enso ebo nyame aduma ochina sana League 1 enso fixtures so no esi etie ewo honum enti yanko the English Premier League no na no so yanhwe se na eye matches ebe wo nso no eno so no esi etie na chese uremu a na chese endero ohwa na endra game baako eba so eye Burnley omo ene Luton Town ene boy ye obi a hye ne nyonko eka baako after 90 minutes na afi no and the games are ekoso no Chelsea the Blues omo any Fulham ena ebo eno London derby na Chelsea edeno omuli di Fulham ekaba kwa Fulham entumi enti 60 minutes eno mabo so far na Newcastle United so no 12:30 omo ewo St James Park no omo any Manchester City ena ebo nyame adumo china Everton omo any Aston Villa bebo ena afi no Manchester United so no omo so any Tottenham Hotspur enso ebebo na sana fixtures our Premier League no so no esi etie ewo honom ti saa ene komo no saa na eho komo city ane ade eti da ha ena chese mbre be ma kwan na chese agodie mu nsem ya me boaboa no nyina no so no from Afcon to English Premier League fixtures and games e ba so nyina so no ye di AC de bia me catch am say nsem no ne mu api se Pakistan for Tom Brown aye pin so se pinka so hyehyehye woto tetelete aha ena George right there.
Hey, Ghana from Randia, obo. Any guy names. Enti unna maybe a bear Cote d'Ivoire no. Tetelete. Over just
woto. Aha. Woto the tetelete the Johnson.
Tetelete. Mr. Tetelete. Oh, wabojuma pa. In fact, 1 year non-stop tidbit pautum say emu ham. One dito said ya ukofa fi African Cup of Nations no records at that hall ne captains are eba and wabojuma ejuma no what's your mwampa until I'm for right now na masho wa nso a ye no first ne your studio papers ye emi and you need to etia need to etia but I say phone kitu na kuta na wutimi che say wo ye stories ni na utwi good trim nti unya captions na che say amount details na udi flow ubaduma
o say mo time dey on time na do be na phone said anya smartphone said anya common ya
mom dey na ho na nso na ye shedan hu say no betumi am in details of what we needed nti
and as at now once na features ni update no of them compared to now see ano I mean ukra smartphone now we better compare stories they betumi a copy a trim the kakra headlines they betumi a screenshot enya footage via their kan nyina na chese we dey akaka ho na etumi abo antino was say how do you call it every era biani near win so you adjust, you adapt, and then we send over to me. So I heard it.
All right, that was sports writer for Tidbits. And I pay what they are bringing. One coming into the Akano, ya be prepreni na ya share sanse, and matches be a basso, and then your opening. Enti Coach Divu omoye host nation no omone Guinea Bissau, and a Beshia na ya share Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea and afe Egypt ne Mozambique first nanka opening games no opening ceremony ni wia yabo only one match nanka opening host nation no and ne counterpart ne boa the next games no cover this radio yabo 3 games at the opening no
there be one game and there one Equatorial
no but and na 14th o hwe we na omo ye na 14th no omo ye Ivory Coast a friends and ochina 14th
ochina
Ivory Coast, Guinea, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, Mozambique. That's what is there.
And then Ivory Coast ni Guinea bebo. Na fe ochina 3 matches.
No, 2 no.
Ochina 3 Ghana bebo. Ochina 3 matches. Say we Ghana Egypt bebo omo ni Mozambique.
Egypt bebo omo de omo ni
Mozambique. Na Ghana Cape Verde. Na first morning game na away Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea half time there 9 a.m. Na Egypt so no among Mozambique then at 12 noon. Right. Yes, here then at 3 o'clock p.m. And after the opening ceremony no Cote d'Ivoire no betia no Guinea Bissau. Alassane Ouattara Stadium.
Ebusiafo ye sinkunya na yaka ye Black Stars honsem if say ye na ye nhwe ye fiasem ye nka ye fiasem ana yaka obi manso wonom de ebi manso de wonom ehu emfaso de wo agro no mu ene de de bra wonti won ton wo ase anso asiesie ne yie if say wo mo ye ne yie a omunim de bra won na ye no nim na ye nim de a ye benye frim na ye nye ne yie anase aburo na ye pese ye de bo man no ne ye mbotom ne ye benye nti ye ndwene se nkunimdie ne ba Ghana franca na ye pagya no no nyam kase ade ma ye nyina na mbua dan say me fa ha ebi asika menyen ebabua pa ebabua me ni mabusua nti mefa ne sei na abo man no dan nti wohwe sadia Black Stars ye ntutu afa na ama agro no emu de tu Katokre Kuba say bring back the love.
The love, yes, bring back the love.
Nti love naba.
Not really. Not really. Love nanka.
Love nemba yanka almost to Abama say one say every president.
Oh, I don't know.
I am kind of correct. One so sisi ujira ushia Katokre. Oh, chair. Say ya. Now we the defe.
Yes, for any day they also the mapping. Oh, but on say no. I mean, there were so many issues surrounding the elections. Them are court a couple of times between on Georgia Kwesi free. And say, I mean, first Ebeto Idano, there was issue say we have to do the elections from the bottom to the top approach. But if you know calendar, and I say calendar we buy for the elections no from the top to the bottom approach. Which means you have two presidents in the first auto, the executive committee members, nothing on my they call districts in the but people were saying talking about the first and again from the bottom to the top approach. I know it will be much more better. Say a couple of times and then couple with the first say the only person I don't know or contested KTS Okweku was also disqualified over Omo endorsing the documents in the idea vet no omoje in the documents no omo disqualify Georgia Kwesi free. So obviously he went unopposed. So it
was an orchestrated where they know they can't let him contest because Obesheki.
Yeah, and now say there were so many they can say controversies surrounded the elections no have you know. So yeah, it's and now Akwa say bia when you obi amana contesting no obviously unopposed. And again, on say one thing about this to say what I also saw and then read and understood and the information I gathered and say the elections normally because executive committee members now most of them didn't want to lose their positions,
right?
Because most of them were head of committees for the Black Maidens, the Black Princesses, Black Queens, Black Satellites, Black Starlets, the futsal committee, Black Stars near there. So once they have these positions, say leadership now. So the leader every hopper. When they say a new king, there will be automatically a new law and new people to lead. And from the bottom to the top approach, wasn't really successful. Wasn't really idea FNA took into consideration because there's a vote from the district and then come to the regional and Sanayaba. Executives no so now they are called presidents now. Obviously some people's seats will be threatened. It will be free money at the and because of that it will possibly shake the head as well. Maybe the president so other parts say the president only power in conform on what form so no be adwuma. If they do from the bottom to the top approach so no every honor say omuntu me any way bioma. Oh shit, I did that to me. Oh omuntu me any hobby it could possibly affect the plans or one. So all those things were part of information may gather on the ground that may influence some of these things. But and that's what the football people actually need. Say if they believe say Kurt is the man to lead them again fine. And they say you need locals what we have is to have our medium to talk to preach positivity about the game. So if that's what they believe is good, because some almost say your football people are the ball clubs no buy the funded clubs on player sales near there. So it's up to them. And again, after say that elections happen, they've been also a couple of back and forth again. Alaji Guza, for instance, still echo court a couple of times because of the same issue. Episode injunction court also couple with the issue disciplinary committee the buyer or disqualify the appeal or the court to move between on Tamale City and Sakoya under appeal so much disqualifying now. So there were so many issues surrounding it, but sometimes since Banasana then it makes the whole thing look some way people have second eye to look at it from because of this controversy surrounding. But this is where we found ourselves, and then we have to make sure we possibly move on from that and look at the positive aspect of it, and that's where the FA need or what the FA need to do now.
Since then now, like you say we have to look at it from there. Now you move on no. You nsakraebi and you dey Cote way.
Not really, because team no performance, team no performance no ensure that any the best. No Ghanaian is impressed with the kind of Boa and the Black Stars team no able. Honestly, because we all expect the team to actually do well, to do better. But since time our coach Chris Hilton ebe as head coach, you know, on said there are so many. I mean, games I have on say team no performance no any impressive enough. We saw a Black Stars team and Otoado. So that time we had George Boateng, Didi Dramani, and he as backing him, and then Coach Chris Hilton as the technical advisor. So these 4 individuals done a very good job entering to the World Cup the final World Cup playoff match, qualification match. Why? Because at that time, most Ghanaians had little hope or no hope in the Black Stars because the free Afcon Aba and coach Milovan Rajevac Waba Yako Afcon we're in a group with Gabon, Comoros, and Morocco. And free tournament from the group stage. We couldn't even win our game against Morocco, and the performance at now it was nothing to write home about. So now people weren't impressed with the Black Stars in Africa. I'm for hope a free move, and we are going to face after that, for the World Cup playoff. After some CD, the 10 teams are also be born in Hona. You fought the final 5 to represent Africa or World Cup,
Right.
We met Nigeria. A Nigerian team, na squad omukrano, tough. Squad omukrano players ball Europe. They were having very good game time and doing very well for them for themselves and also their club side. And so now omudini yamo. And again, there was so much back and forth and loss of focus as well from the FA's direction. Why? Because now Ghana struggled to find a standard stadium to play that particular playoff. Fast forward to bringing Otoado into the picture. Now Otoado, so people had issues with his appointment because that's that time the government was backing Chris Hilton to come and take over as the head coach. Emma Honorable say Chairman Sabon Sukwapoko grantee interview talking about the fact that Chris Hilton is the best for Ghana because he's coached Tottenham, he's coached Newcastle. He's been assistant coach for the Ireland national team. He's coached Brighton and Hove Albion, the Argentina Bano. Since our start coach, I think in the 1990s till now, our that kind of portfolio and then the experience to man the Black Stars team. It's only be our government near back and so. And there were other issues. Say Gabi Otreda Kuna also push or lead the agenda to bring him in. So he was the government favorite to come and take over the Black Stars of Ghana. And I almost some favorite Otoado,
which was very wrong. Otoado's, caliber cannot for Chris Hilton in the same path. Otoado has never been an active coach. He was a scout.
Yeah, so or a scout coming to the Obabe take over the Black Stars, not a scout, but also not he was the favorite for the for the Ghana Football Association. So the government wanted Chris Hilton. The GFA also wanted Otoado to be the Black Stars head coach. And now so my GFA there 2 delegation, every Ghana, a call Germany, and Otoado Kokasai, somebody take over the team. Because now Otoado was on a 4th assistant at Borussia Dortmund, or a developmental coach or developing players or Dortmund. And Jude Bellingham or Jordan Sancho before coming to the senior side and Jomudi. And even if Jude Bellingham is talking about the successor or attributing most of the development, Edema Otoado since time of free Birmingham City Eba Borussia Dortmund. So not on coaching any team Biada as a head coach. The best was an 23 and at 16 of the Borussia Dortmund team. And you know handle more, but sometimes he holds the team. That was it. And so now people have issues with that because of their experience compared to Coach Chris Hilton. And of course, my experiences at the 2 tables. So Coach Chris Hilton is far ahead than Otoado. Otoado is just junior in the coaching game. But Nigeria, people thought that Ghana would not go forward, looking at Nigerian with a pedigree, with a hype and all those stuff, and we were able to, lo and behold, have had a away goal advantage to qualify to the World Cup ahead of Nigeria. Now, you call World Cup no. He was the second teamer, almost or the youngest team that come to the World Cup. Now Ghana team no, your average age 22.4, followed by now women on first the American male national team. Women on first, and Ghana yes second. The youngest squad I call World Cup. So that kind of expectation where yes, okay, if we have the second youngest squad or World Cup now here, it means the future is bright, because we have young players. Now almost at that time there was Salisu about Southampton, the Premier League, Jiku Strasbourg, there were Kamadin Suleimana, non so Southampton. We had Jordan Ayew with Crystal Palace. We had Dede Ayew with Nottingham Forest at that time. Now Antoine Semenyo to a movie from Bristol City, Abba, Bournemouth, our Premier League. So and we can say Tariq Lamptey for Brighton Hove Albion, Thomas Partey, Arsenal. So we had some key players here, at least by 7 to 8 key players are normally now English Premier League, normally top players or Musia can week in week out home. So there was this kind of vibe and hopes. Okay, I mean this team has got a bright future. But
the Kahona Yama team no, me Angele because ya share ya bobo team sakasiye obo Arsenal, obo Atletico Bilbao, obo West Ham, obo Newcastle, obo say na yehuni say once ofi oba no oye dependable player, or you're so good obetimi make mark no, until we tend to forget say nka ye limit san man na ye twa ni hwe say ya ye be grumu ye de no na aye competitive na boys ni nya say sisi de me mpre me huntu kwan once Black Stars wo yire ho kakra bi a obenya ho abo no ya be ya nka ye league nankasa na ebe ya kondom amanfo ahwe, because obi anim say player na ye kohwe no na match na ye kohwe no player bi obabo no mode Black Stars never Black Stars amanfo pe nti say no obi afo so a wenya foreign club obo nti say eno anso players here obo eye no kre they came from all these clubs, but ebe we are still about together no na ayakafo. And the last no be kase, it is not about coaching. You can bring the best coach in the world to handle Black Stars. If the right thing is not been done, some interferences that a player managerial win a woman no omo na omo amma coach no the independent mind and have friends and the privacy no one focus no more interfere, bring this player there master sani ebakono. And I know Chris Hughton is facing that challenges with them, and he's somebody he doesn't want to take it lightly. Say be omuka ya no waye inti coach on coach omusi so onyade, and say coach in yade a na if support a yem femma no they will pretend to be supporting you, but trust me, they know how to bring you down. No me you with you because oji omo anu eduane.
Yeah, I mean I think to some extent I agree with both statements, especially the second point. But the first point about say about coach, but we have to yama coaching freedom and this thing. So understandable, because who interfere in a coach, it affects the performance. But however, once you are a coach who much more experience and other stuff, when you come into to handle a national team, that's say you interfere or crap, and I say you catch you say for player we are. You have been in the game for a very long time and you have the experience. So obviously, these are the players who feel it's all done by Ejuma. If they are not giving you the chance, you can just walk out or resign. But once you don't resign and you are still there coaching, even though they interfere, then it means that you are in agreement. You have your consent with them. And again, most times coaching they play a huge role, because there are some coaches who are much more disciplined. On pay way. There's nothing you can do about it. On pay way. I remember how Sofoke Kofa Kenichi Achuashi by. Kenichi Achuashi by now he was nobody. Nobody knows Kenichi Achuashi. One house of folks Kofa Japanese trained American coach at the above coach House of Folk. Fast forward to that, there were a couple of times at the board members and management team of the House of Folk come to make a dressing room during matches near that. The man told them point blank, say on person interference no. He needs his boys to focus and doesn't like that. And the House of Folk team and pay for no muja although it was certain and paying for them pay, but catch on person interference they stopped, and that was part of the reason why edu baby omude can we sakin no, because at a point of kase so mbetua ne car no muntua the players car enya de obeji saska no, and I can one the sakin no. Again there was a timer now you can say this national team issues here the Bema the head coach for Nigeria national team catch him say once we have team no moje Afcon ni bi achem ni mba beji Afcon, so everybody should remain disciplined from the head to bottom, and everybody left the team to him to manage it. Players are showing discipline or Pamo from camp and on the Afcon in 2019. So
that's right.
It has both. I mean, agree and disagreement. So most times, I mean, when it comes to interference from in paying for now, most times it depends on you, the head coach, because when original park and also with your task, and when players are obeying you. So once they interfere in your job, if you don't like it, you resign. So that everybody will see and give a reason why you resign. No, be okay. You resign because they are interfering in your job. But when you sit down and then allow them to interfere in your job, not a performance, and you're not gonna phone pointing fingers at you, then you are causing that problem. You are bringing that problem to yourself. That's how I see it. And again, the part about I'm pretending almost supporting, quite recently they've been talks. I mean, George Amuakun, Mr. George Amuakun, yeah. Good morning, Ghana.
Gabriel
former spokesperson for the FA. No, good morning on Metro TV. Randy Abbey. There was one other person from the FA executive committee or executive committee member. They Nana Odrosafo. They've granted interview talking about the fact that Coach Christian Borbon and Yadi impressed about it. And those Kasana Yomukani Nano could tell you clearly say, a question, Omino Hobomino anyhow. I saw supporting, but supporting. So what I say, so it is right per what they say, because some committee, executive committee members of Moody football in some move, Castle coaching performance, send over ball on the AI share any idea. You then trying to say you are not really in support with coaching. But we are key decision makers. Although we need rights as when it comes to you can't say coach meeting because of where the coach was coming from. So it is right also in some sense when it comes to support me if you know in paying for the coaching because of where he was coming from, because already he wasn't their favorite.
Right.
Already he wasn't their favorite. That is why
I say you impose no matter.
Yes, you impose no matter. So already your favorite. And your favorite.
Irrespective of whether he is very good than Otuado or not.
Yes.
You don't care.
And your favorite, because if it's that time you be appointed Otuado Krapono. The thing was that Satana way free Brighton Hove or only coach, only team behind. So Ghana crowd for like 3 months, no Ghana. 3 to 4 months, not coach Christian or Ghana, the crowd na Ghana pay coaching. No, I don't know also a UK base. It's not a UK or UK based person or about Ghana. You know, now he was having meetings with the government officials near their demo, and he was in Ghana for 4 months. Crown Sana, if you know your man Sobako Kofa Otuado Aba, and that time now the coach in Nigeria issues are a problem in Ghana, because when Kate take you over, that now Kusiapia na head coach. Now I can 1 year now the contract abane way. And I extend the Kusiapia contract. After extending Kusiapia contract no bane way now. O uniform Kofa Siki Akono. Now Siki Akono was the assistant to Kusiapia.
Right.
Siki Akono so bad no. In your man performance was bad. Ye Siki Akono feel no Kofa Milovan Rajevac say think that day on the unveiling what FA secretary now was there. And I say we enye ma try ma kwe we ye milu a ya kan hwa ye de milk afra ye de atwa tea pampa in the morning. That was the worst from the FA president or kan ya time on unveiling Milovan Rajevac no. Say we need a coach because 2010 on the coach on the Ghana he could to the quarterfinals of the World Cup for the first time. He has that track record. But also by no performance was poor. You call Afcon, the worst Afcon. You need to qualify from the group stage there, knockout phase for the first time since 2006. So, once you no, I said no to ever take you over. But also by or qualify us to the World Cup. You call World Cup against Portugal, South Korea, and the Uruguay. We won our game against South Korea and lost against Portugal and after Uruguay. Or by non say Juman and Yadu Beto Asubio. And I'll call back to Borussia Dortmund. And Yede Jumanema Cresciotin. So you realize since Ket came in the past 2 years, we've had 5 coaches. The past 3 years, you have 5 coaches and 5 coaches for the Black Stars. And so you have inconsistency as far as the managerial aspect of the Black Stars, technical aspect of the Black Stars, are concerned. Because in the past 3 years, no to me Sake, when you have 3 different coaches there, it means there's something wrong. So as a team performance, and you have Coach Christian by after the World Cup. The record for you can say Oba take you over here. Oba after the World Cup, no. Oba after the World Cup, no. Oba against Angola. And Afcon we qualifies here. Yani Angola Kumasi yeshe by go to nil. And call return leg no Angola yani kobo 1-1 draw. And I want for say so mo raise concern say match boy no performance then game no I say players want to detail we are too much defensive than the flair. You mean both flair game. You're too defensive more. I say you conserve ball no more than creating more chances. After that they bought Madagascar. You call away ball Madagascar. That was May 2023. You ball goalless draw. You bought Madagascar way and in August you bought Central African Republic. You show me by 2-1. Ghana. And after that, your ball friendly match in Liberia by 3-1. You win this game. And after your ball Mexico and the US. Mexico share Ghana 2-0 and the US share Ghana 4-0. And after your ball Madagascar back and your World Cup qualifies. You share Madagascar by a goal to and Nike Williams and the first goal for Ghana. No. And after you need Comoros boy. You ball Comoros 1 Comoros share Ghana by a goal to 0. And yani Namibia ball goalless draw. And so we share the performance now. Say Ghana win here. The only time Ghana winning more than 2 goals was the friendly game in Liberia boy was at Tachenumu or Accra Sports Stadium. That was the only friendly match. And the only game a competitive game which match more than 1 goal. Any Central African Republic you winning by 2-1. No. Yeah. Those coach could set a record now. I say Yanshayan 1-0. You ball goalless draw. Yambo goalless draw. A bear 1-1. Say Ghana be winning so a 1-0. And I say 1 goal margin.
No, you lost.
And was it?
We lose 2 matches.
Yes, Comoros. No. And Elusu Mexico and the USD. No.
Otuado Lusu sign.
Otuado Lusu 2 games.
No, we will lose sign.
We will lose 3 matches.
But the wins anyway higher.
Yeah, because we about more matches. I see Otuado because Otuado about Nigeria back to back home. You about draw. And they go 1-1 ewo Nigeria and they go away go advantage and they qualify your World Cup. So your World Cup no and they ball against Portugal you lose here and they win against South Korea and they san lose in final game against Uruguay. And so sure no lose 2 games and win 1 and obo draw me no but by virtue of away goal against Nigeria in the playoff and to qualify here. Into question to about more matches than Otuado. But one thing someone for so I can say the playing style no assassin and obviously coach coach a typical UK coach, so obviously you not expect him to play that flair game. That's of Roy Hawks and Monish and Daichimo in the Premier League now when they Harry Redknapp no when they are coaching most times some about that typical England game they don't really play the pass game too much. They have good wingers, some speedsters. Now, almost speedy up, more aggressive, more direct game in a typical 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 style. That is their style. So no, ono buy no na enye mo wase the style no. And people were expecting so buy na will continue from where Otuado left off from, because you look at your second goal against South Korea now. Ghana put 22 passes together leading to goal non-stop. So people were like, okay, this is the time if we have the young guys and they are putting in such non-stop 22 passes leading to goal. It means that this team no say you continue with the flair type of gamer. We will have players to create more and score more. But Onoba no abese sano because Ono understand a different what he believes in a different from what Otuado believes in. So obviously, Omo two different philosophies.
Is it Ediana ama yakwa na ya ntimi performing ya ba? Is it the fault of the playing body, the fault of coach, and now say GFA Omuma Nigeria accumulating the enye, and now say Ghana are buying ne involvement because now say the government must not interfere in the FA's dealings with regards to the Black Stars and stuff. No, Ediana ama Black Stars yakwa since 1982 na ya jesa fourth cup no.
Yeah, Libya.
We have nurtured very, very quality international players.
True, very true.
Bimukura timiko jina yedemu be jina African best near there. I mean, friends awards yedemu ko jina pedals no so say we drew sa level na see man African best. Benso yentimi njika pribi. Ena nkokura fudie ya womo age amaye na eye yen
ye paprechire sa
ye bobo ye homra ne nti say CAF tournament ye ekwe omo ye historical way na omo kan the Black Stars of Ghana has chalked 4 times of this cup.
Yeah, of course.
You know, until we are also forced to reckon with Nzobua.
Yeah. Say you win biache and people will
why are we deceiving ourselves?
Ben said how do you call a record at that, so we can't wipe that one off. But we want to see say from since that time till now, after 42 years, a very long time. Very long time coming for us. And yes, a team no input in effort because I remember in 2008 Afcon into me final there. But we went to the final in 2010. They lost to Egypt. Went to another final with Cote d'Ivoire in 2015, and also to Ivory Coast. So I think say we have to understand say your team no and you have to lower expectations. But however, we also fail to push the right players sometimes because at a point no will be parochial interest paramount to the nation. I'll bet choose on any player and as an agency player over player or yeah there because if you are playing any manager and so any agency be or influence. So those things no affect the cohesion and the talent, the right talent. I was said you present you to such a tournament. Other parts also say most times indiscipline in camp on the part of the players and the technical team as well, and the failure of the committee, Black Stars management committee or manager team, no failure to maintain discipline in camp because you call tournament now your team news be say player we buefu player we at your aba camp we ni oba sheni demo player we your ball match we no or free camp and or call you can say club club here and pay no, but we hear these stories every time. Say Ghana World Cup, Afcon, we hear these stories every time. You amount for SNO videos and that's evidence come what they saw. So these things no, indiscipline in camp on the part of the players and also no emboating.
Me name me kai Yakobo Liberia Black Stars Yakona players libimo omo girlfriends no the so-called managers no eye ticket mo girlfriends no mo edo mo aba hotel ho na wuntimi so nkoka.
Yeah,
it happened. I was a witness to it, Mikobi. And yes, na wo hwe nipa no the level of wonti we say eja yenja won san your money na it doesn't bring good omen to you the player na wo field no.
True.
So why say at the time na wo ko gina Ghana no when nya time bia say sa time na wo mpenafo na wo guess no didi nkomo omoba won chane ya wonya obi su ye enema no mura
ozi enema no mura and we mu so no girls omo no buy say pe dia okay no say emergency committee team now and omo aswa girls na the mom But when we say mo manage team, also ya form say mo cutting as in pain for me to be manage in normal camps. Na be disciplinary between akoso. But you see them rather doing the wrong thing, rather I mean, you can say opening the way for the players to do what they want.
Exactly.
Into players at maybe I'm a athlete there. No young Kofua or coaching throughout their entire career. You be also be coaching. Some of be also be coaching. Some of the also be coaching. The eye for the game BBA also be coaching because of a player. But when we fail to manage it well, there be issues free camp back. Tebanisa, I said the focus, discipline in camp, and sometimes go upon the spiritual aspect of the team. And also no emboa because you don't know where that girl you are going to have an affair with or tournament national. You don't know the baby or kofa and I say the status and I say that kind of energy or the bro. If it's not positive, you bring it, you dilute the energy of other teammates, and then you might not perform well.
Tebanisa ties, Drew ties. I'm almost say yes. No with a mission.
Internet bansa Ubo no cry and koi, so it's affect the entire team's performance. Internet one part on the part of the players. Other parts is when the players also focus too much on the money than the pride and passion. At the country Americans I say, your blasters and Keyakono from a very long time. Up until time and Sika same we be huge say your kobo we kwa players since you. Yeah, boy. I think at a point, I think during Mama time or so, it happened. That be a 2019 World Cup, African Cup of Nations now. Time now winning bonus issue. No. Two captains must the day are you any Asamajan or some co-presidents, any president called train come over there winning bonuses near the adi. Sikasem na say yonkwe bibia Sikasem, but from 1963. 65 up until 82 I African Cup of Nations. That time no more Boma team no. They weren't so much interested in the Sikasem no more. They play for the pride and passion.
You so my mene Africa Joe ending come all the way Cote d'Ivoire. And that's Bruce Smith, Peace FM. Africa ya mwakwa ba de ba Kings Jersey Radio our US. Africa saying
ya me adom ko na so
yame hu ya mobo pa afishia panso ya kasa ya che
no African committee
ya de yame ase ya de yame ase we de yame nsa wo bre maye tew camp te san euphoria wo ho esan so china na Ghana ejina kono ohwa kodibu ho in general feeling ne te san wo ho
when say Black Star camp there I'm feeling no great. Na tell you almost share CT no. I'm saying ra almost near training and I'm pay almost any training. I'm 6:30. And you could go time no. I'm back on my last training. Then I'm going to crowd team no. Press conference. I just almost any central book share for Katachomo. I come the pass on the bombo. No matter to no money. It is a 6:30 prepare. Not for me the money share. One more training grounds. I'm say I never could say. Now could be able to be able to at the final day and say, I did the chain, I'm Marco Bono. Caribbean will be access to stadium now more equal match, and so it's the cup. And to maybe I'll training. And while now be the match day, no, then you're the Mamma Kibiamo match, no, not much in Yapa for more. So far, dear, make us be beer added an aquaman, yes, say, I'm a domo at China. 8 p.m. Let us say, so now you will be getting couldn't either say Ghana. And I see
Africa, with your experience in this sports move and with the Black Stars issue, no, do you foresee the absence of Partey no a very worrying to the team now? Hello, Africa. Hello, Smith. Okay, I'm say na homa no ati well at least we am yen run down me hu say camp bibia you okay e wo ho boni bi en ho team no kra no e be ye press conference na omo ne nsantrafu ekohia won wa bisa ahoboa no se de tie na coach eyi ya no enti ni na mu no am say owi a ye be hu bi Now, quickly, my young share players, you know. We played Namibia, right?
Yeah.
And it was of Richard Ofori and Odine Tum. We have Atizigi, who they were proven to be our number one goalkeeper. As there hasn't been that consistency, you know, or Shadai, you know, the Richard Ofori Tum. Does it gives you fair idea? Say, Bia, be you saw Richard Ofori in post.
Yeah, I mean, idea say. Which your phone obey you. So I think so only the first goalkeeper him so obey lead team now goal post no because
right.
Our experience without any doubt. And then the game against Comoros no on which the phone no man dem as a goalkeeper against Madagascar, so it's the phone no so dem as a goalkeeper. So it tells you say, I mean, once this is happening, we just say we're choosing as the number one. And we share for you know wada under Sika Kono, wada under Kwesiapia and Milovan Rajivac as well. It's not only senior bano goalkeeping now, but injury situation and affecting the career and then Jojo Wallacott and Atizigi Ebenya, I mean the opportunity to be in the goal post. But I think a coach be also near our pay. Because for me, I feel say Nanka Otuadune Owa and Kobe prefer Jojo Wallacott over Richard Ofori. Because at that time, in the last part, no, not Satana were bouncing back from injury or Dema in the club of South Africa. So I'm thinking, so okay, these are part of the reasons. And again, we also pair coach maybe goalkeeper no, maybe a senior or stick it to the game plan. Senior, I mean. They can say the anticipation, the reflexes near the idea. So it depends on coach Biani your pay. But from the look of things and how consistent it has been from the Madagascar game to the Namibia game, it tells you say Christian will prefer Richard Ofori as the number one.
All right. It's also a difference. Ali Dusedo, Dennis Odoy, Kinsley Schindler, Gideon Mensah, Isahaku Fatau, Daniel Amate, Nicolas Opoku, Alexander Jiku, and Mohamed Salifu, and a war defense or Bapi Pembi. Now I share nearby solid at the man, but quickly no, my mene ye Dankokuya Boandin Komotu, na Yenshe, answer near so. DKY. No, at the same.
Beneza, I mean, I'm not doing so.
My answer more fish panso.
I think go back to you.
The way I'm a bachelor now.
Me were born some basic one.
Kwaku. Ola den ya clear. Ready uncle. All right, with the me few. My come see me do it here. The assembly from Baba. Goku, yeah, share Black Stars. Yeah, chances of sailing through the group stages, even though we've not played our first game. Yami Adoma Wachina and Yababu and Cape Verde. With Niawanka Saudi when you and they were experiencing with them before they, parted ways to Cote d'Ivoire now. Do you foresee any daso?
Abe say me ka say ni daso ho a na me kasa as a Ghanaian. But you can't prepare. Timo, the last time you share any competitive team was 3 years ago.
Oh,
2021 under Kwesiapia. And a Black Star to me share in quote a top team, which is South Africa. And no make no be a say, oh, men say Nigeria for from near co-worker. Nigeria for young show I will go rule. So the last time Ghana beat a relatively top team, Africa by a cat team on their top as South African club. 3 years ago. People say no more Lesotho, Comoros, Central African Republic in higher struggle. So my point is that if you are struggling against the Minusa, now I want to mention more top on Unswa. na okoto ho ana se ugina ho
na mechia ho
na abe besides eba footballer experience counto juju counto eni o bebre na me analysis be say even though Ghana is a West African country, tournament ya host no Afcon since 1957. As many as 8, in fact 9, but the ninth one Ghana qualified in 1972. It was hosted by Cameroon. But 8 West African countries are host to tournament in Ghana Kobino. Emumi ensape ne ko yi ma 5 ni na ankoye. Obekaya, when Ghana won the Afcon in 1978, we became defending champions in 1980. In 1980 in Nigeria, it was hosted by a West African country, Nigeria. In 1980, group stage, any free mo. Oma amweni di Ghana football channel. The do baby kwa support be ko tu Joseph Kokuka Niche aneshe no say yedro. Ema mu chesi no bona. But we are seeing Ghana, and we need just one match in 1980 in Nigeria, and you're free. Fast forward to 1982, Yako Libya, Eko Jikruano. Then in 1984, we went to the same La Côte d'Ivoire as defending champions, and also it ended up being labeled the Boake debacle, and also group stage, and you're free as defending champions. Then 1998, another West African country hosted Burkina Faso. And also Bekaya, it was the first time at Togo, Ghana free in a competitive tournament. That time Togo players Biabe stay Ghana, Ghanaians are familiar with them. Goalkeeper Nebombe Wake, Nutu Kwasi, and in a Bushia for. How many go through finals of the Champions League in 1997 and in 1998. So much in the mirror feeder. I that to go share Ghana. So that number per year.
Oh.
And also, we year frame. Can 2000 Ghana Nigeria co-hosting West Africa and also Angoye. Then in Mali 2002 and also second round and Nigeria for a year frame. Obekaya Sami J was imposed. John Mensah, Derek Boateng and also Angoye second round and year frame. Inti West African country SI host to tournament, you know. SI careful because out of 8 West African countries are host to know. In fact, Ghana and 8 editions are hosting West Africa. No? Ghana host to 63, 78 and winning. And in 1992 in Senegal, another West African country are called finals. Into these are 3 performances in Fima and Mummy and Ghana they host to. The Ake na I mean it also view the most recent Afcon bad record I set here it was in 1984 Côte d'Ivoire Korea and 2 years ago Ketokrekus FA big break is our worst record. In 1980 Nigeria they had 3 points. In 1984 in Boake with Ahmed Polone Adachenche Hinemu Inano, Yanusu Yenya 3 points. Ena Ketokreku di Yako 2021 and the 1 point for the first time Ghana in Aqua tournament. Yentumi and show be any a beefy, a binsida. And he abe would the way kika your recent performance one. Say make a Ghana need the Sebi Meduma me sports. Intimani Jenny said blaster winia, a benya positive impact on the industry and me wumu. Ebe impacted positively in the local economy of Ghana ha. Now mom no ye kano kurepa your objective analysis abe mu hu because group na wo no. Titina nke wega so Ghana betopo Egypt atosumienu na bia Mozambique abana Keveda ba but then they untumi fa unsensu bu nka asem papa bia. First of all, Egypt are a losing finalist.
Right.
In the last Afcon they were losing finalists. And 27 players no they call Afcon no. Emu 19 are local players. So it tells you say about teamwork, they have a better teamwork. And usually local players they tend than the foreign based players now. we na Arsenal twɛn no, Liverpool twɛn no, Barcelona twɛn no, nti ɔbɔ na adwene yɛ mienu. Usually, etasi say over team local players does come more. A team foreign based players. Four goalkeepers in our local 19 into 27 players, names 80 per ena foreign based players. It tells you say they have telepathy, better teamwork than you do. Moreover, the most recent Afcon or a losing finalist. And every time you ever bought tournament or West African so no. Omanya free North Africa and more than what ni Egypt. In Burkina Faso 1998 they were winners. When Ghana hosted it in 2008, they were winners. Inti Kamia say a tournament in West Africa and so the only team in free North Africa and more than what ni Egypt. Inti Abeuki Kabum now here say in Kankani and Ghana Niki Verde Bobo match and Kebusa say Ghana share say. And Ghana ni Mozambique, Yabega say Mozambique, Elusu, how many goals? Because this is the fourth timer Mozambique ever Afcon. This is the fourth timer Kivet ever Afcon. Now the two Ghana who ananka ye weni mo bebre. But ye jina pain pa ye wo media heading. Moreover, we coach na. Come here say the first half will be opeso obo two defensive midfielders. Ye share we are no the offensive midfielders aba. Abe ubo friendly match Kumasi Sports Stadium. What Fred Richmond Lamptey, the best midfielder in our local league today. Kotokwane has if we not doing one dance here. Now ubo friendly match Kumasi. Won't me a man 5 minutes in farm building a confidence. The boy is a very good passer of the ball. And give to me your man confidence. Give to me the number as pivot. Ejina defensive for him. Nanka yabo Ashimeru or ye offensive minded. Abo Salis are you offensive minded. Because the other defender now defensive minded in the square passes in the doors. And ye were Jumaye because team na ekra Christian. Ye win a yen I'm just so far when ya best 6 wins so then in a competitive game. 5 winning was second half. And it's the first half no for 1 year what no much and I say to me I'm a backer. Nice and winning. But that notwithstanding, I haven't followed football. Say football has its own way of disproving logic. Bet me about so preparation yet, bet me about so coaching yet, bet me about so players in yet, but over cap. Football is abrabo. Put me the two can two who abrabo no one zero. Aha, engineer for your ninto. Say football a illogical football can correct. Name for support Inter Black Stars it's because no one you walk. The moment all your objective analysis there abe more.
Kweku, it's early days yet. Me say obre. If son say ye yam ye fit back once we are. Ye be yam more to talk about. Intima minjao. Na menda wase obra odi ama yen wa ye ni so bebre. Thank you so much.
Mentume that's echia King Jesse.
Akura wa ho, akura.
Hey, akrani.
All right. Yane yenia penny dan kwaku yabua ana amini akuma dan kwaku yabua ana yane ne din komo no so what ne analysis and ne expectation or the Mr. Logic abaka ho se wakasa ne muni na no on de wakasa se Ghana ni na mum se ba na critical se yendom esuko se agudini a Black Stars ense se ye kan ho if say yenyoma wabom na kire wado abom na ye no ye de no enche se ye ado bia e bedo na mum no wa very critical Joe, yes sir. Utie done critically one na adwen in man be home.
Yeah, to larger extent. Very to the largest extent because because certain by the performance say obo first half year second half on boni obo second half year on first half year but mostly the games second half and I said team in the picking moon.
Who feels what type of coach na you here? Do you have idea?
I think in here coach or your flair more. Me pe flair coaches.
Flair.
Pe
flair na chano bi okoto ho.
Coach, there's much more fluidity, like or allow players no more exhibited their
na
creative.
on transiding she na always on his toes kasa.
Yeah, creativity. To say Pep Guardiola, for instance, the type of play. Always the players, the better they also way there. Name you tap into your creativity more.
Right.
Unlike coaches be more person on board defense more. Even some type of coaches no. Me say don't like you play. Simple players are coaches are more flair game no. And that is what I feel say we need. We need to be to me about. But I say coach could sit on so cry. On also your own philosophy or the buy. But sometimes in substitutions no be what. Any some key decisions be you making. Yeah, now John kwa won't say. There are some crucial games. I think against Comoros. Kudus for no my creative player. Number creative chances no. But no, my Kudus na ben sa I can be 15 minutes or 10 minutes on brim. Yeah, you could game the have no need brim. And sometimes no players be also won't say and can say game we no. Or my player with chance or ball player way ahead of we no on ball. And most games no about two pivotal midfielders. Which I feel say so wrong when you are playing a team and also be respect you. For instance, who bought Comoros and who bought Madagascar, who bought Central African Republic. You don't have to play two typical number 6 players. I was say back a place at number still row no, just to bring stability.
Right.
And still adjust at the front of the 18-yard box. Now back I as a registrar and as the axis between or him on any offensive players. So I don't know on play more of the number 6 row, but almost a number 6. So whenever the ball is loose and say counter-attacking player, he's the first player to be located. And Sana was distributed passing a man number 10 and I say wingers no. They are progressive ball no. But most times we say na or Bobo Salis, now Baba Idrisu. Salis, Baba Idrisu, they all play the same thing. So they bring no difference. And then Emma down quickly Obaka say Baba Idrisu na the square passes no dorsum. So when you're born instead of progressing no. Or square pass because that is the role of a typical number 6. But say or you 8er or was half flare now or carry ball no progressive ball now longer. And no wouldn't pair number 6 now say you defending as a number or interception. Now say ball number 6 no. The next person number 6 look out for is the registrar. That is the number 8. No, not progressive ball to either the 10 or the wingers. And as I say striker and one so bet me I'm a good passer. Not just when you pass now you go you caught direct at goal. But Kwesio Timber ball Salis no a ball Baba Idrisu. 2 players playing the same role or more the same playing style. So when you ball now, they look at who is closer to them. They give square passes. Instead, Baba Idrisu nya ball, not the man Salisa. Salis nya ball now, he'll be afraid to progress because so Lucy ball on the pair, now you'll be defending. And so the Bama will be safe enough into the best square pass for somebody who just right closer to him. Then that time now best square pass now player no so be ball be hwe ni ma progress no now opponent now cover the loopholes already. The game football game is more like a game of chess. The more you bring the opponents onto you, the more you create the chances spaces at the back and then you make your intelligent players to occupy the spaces and create chances and then score. So and it say opponent now commit players to you more and then you win the ball, you progress the ball quickly. But so who bought 2 pivotal players there? Then it means that you respect the opponent too much. Respect the opponent too much means say who bought him or maybe who bought Senegal, maybe who bought Cameroon, who bought Egypt because they have good attackers. And so obviously who bought 2 defensive midfielders and you're good because we have much more solid performance in and around the 18-yard box. And say loose balls will be about second ball and third balls could be picked much more easily and then you maybe locate a winger and then progress the ball going because such teams they commit their wingers more up front. Don't major spaces at their back. But when you are playing teams that no respect you much and go play 2 defensive midfielders with the same similar role, you always find it difficult to create chances quickly and score. And that is what I've really observed from Kwesio since now we take over from the Angola game out to the Namibia games now you realize that most times because Partey on and off injury most times Obo Salis no about Baba Idrisu. But at times say it do second half and I say do games Obebo Salis no about Majija Simerupe about not defense aba. Especially the game any Madagascar boy they are in a share goal. First half Obo Baba Idrisu Salis 2 players having the same role as 2 number 6. ball second half for the Ashimeru ba mo obeyi Baba Idris film pe. Then we started progressing the ball quickly because at that time onunya ball na oma good pass e dey ama Kudus and also obi on number 10 wa obetumi actual pass e dey ama strikers no nti eji ball na ye progressing them but so about two defensive midfielders we will struggle. So that is where you need to look at it from. Yakobo Kevet game for instance, me expecting so about Salis ne Samid as a 2 number 6 they be Bosalis nama we Baba Idris Ntinache maybe a pen with Majid Ashimeru Nabo Kudus as number 10. Then we have that fluidity there. Now so about Jordan ne Joseph Pencil now Inaki Williams say the attack in a typical 4-2-3-1 formation. That is it. You know, anytime we progress quickly, you defend this one. We have much more players to be committed along and then squeeze them and then get the ball out of them and then we progress. But so about Egypt, and I understand that we say so about Baba Idris Salisa because of attacking threat at Egypt for one day. So that one, no, almost attacking threat in the bad there. Then we have to rely more on the wingers than the middle part of the game. And you know, that is the dynamics I may expect from him as a coach. As far as this and Mozambique too, the same approach with Kevet must be much more similar to the Mozambique game, but a bit different from the Egyptian game because Egypt's attacking threat normally much more higher compared to Mozambique in Kevet. So that is what I'm looking at it from. So to me, yeah, they are fine weekend, but when to me,
by your group now, you woman no, Ghana, Kevet, Senegal, Gambia, Cameroon, right?
Yeah, that be.
Mozambique. Is it that easy for us?
Well, Nanka, of course, for Egypt, you look at Egypt and say, oh, 7 times African champions. Obviously, tough. To me, a mature more.
Almost a catch on the NTR. No more, yeah, uncle, yama, almost crawling because Egypt, they used to have fully local based players.
Yeah, almost some problem.
No, be our problem.
Yeah, the taste of European football also changed on game a bit. Yeah, because 2006, for instance, we host and win. Egypt, they had middle name Zidane. Zidane was playing for Werder Bremen. I think middle was with Portsmouth and Middlesbrough at that time. They were the only 2 foreign-based players. Apart from that, Obia local based players. Abaka. They were all local based players on GA. Even 2008 Omba Ghana was also the same thing. Until recently, I say time almost more foreign players no chance more in their team no. And that time almost some call Afcon no winning. Because call final twice. 2017 against Cameroon. And I'm lose to Cameroon. And sana the recent one on Senegal, I'm lose to Senegal. I'm lose to Senegal again in the World Cup playoff for Munchimian World Cup. In the time almost no Egypt for chances almost more foreign based players no chance more. El Nini Money, Ramadan Sobi more, Begazi more chances more in the national team. Sometimes more falling down. But times some look used to local players no more. Egypt no more. So almost some problem regarding their national teams and issues like that. But who share in Ghana now? I can say Egypt are still making the mark more than us because we final 2017, final 2021. Ghana the last time we final was 2015. That was like 7 years ago. Where do we come on? That's 8 years. So that was the last time you final the Afcon. After you 2010 final, I called 2015. That was it. But from 2017 on, Egypt now got 2 finals. So it tells us okay, they know more they're more than us, and their players are much more. Impressive players on mobile. So we, facing them in our own team on which me and my, I'll be a team on paper, on be hard more, on be hard but I think we could lose our game against them, but against Kevet and Mozambique, there on paper we are better than them.
Can you compare Comoros to Kevet?
No,
Kevet has ahead. Yes. Until this time, no football. We shouldn't even make such analysis because your team, no, and your team are to me. And I can say we are better than any team again because Masaya say you feel better. Yeah, but at the same time, to know your team share. What makes your team better than we? At the same time, to your team share teams are.
no almost some year we can some year almost the same
Namibia cry Timishan or if you
Namibia friendly I think for friendly matches sometimes much more dicey to put into the equation about analysis because Mozambique any Cape Verde Omne Madagascar, Central African Republic, Angola, almost strength are the same.
Right.
Almost strength are the same. So if you have such teams in your group, you beating them, no, Mazimbi and what's a issue, man. You have to, find a way to win against them. Apart from Egypt, or more higher than us and us, and the same Egypt, I think the last 2 editions of the Afcon Cup, almost here, and South Africa, they almost film the quarterfinals. South Africa na yo mufim one day you South Africa between yo mufim so that is it it goes two different ways and again this Afcon since 2006 coming we have only 7 national teams spend on much may winning and the last 7th editions no different countries say winning so per this no likely say you be a surprise nation because I think 2006 Egypt say winning 2006 we need 2010, we need 2008, we need 2010. And then in 2012, Zambia be winning here for the first time. In 2013, Nigeria be winning here be winning on the 3rd trophy or honor. And then 2015, Cote d'Ivoire winning on the 2nd trophy. And 2017, Cameroon be winning on the 5th trophy. 2019, Algeria winning on the 2nd trophy. And 2021, Senegal winning on the 1st trophy. So the last 7 editions of the Afcon, different. Obi and no winning the back-to-back da. Obi no winning back-to-back da. And the last 9 editions also no the same 7 countries are winning, by exception of Egypt winning it 3 times. And so, from that angle, I realize okay, there could be a surprising team, and this what Afcon are come with. But also no minus are minus. Most times no. Sometimes magic way to me abim na when ya surprising team be akọ them to say 2013 for instance Burkina Faso echo all the way to the final no be a point then say Burkina final we play against Burkina Faso couldn't win them 2012 Zambia against Cote d'Ivoire we hear Cote d'Ivoire play some more compared to Zambia. Cote d'Ivoire were much more ahead of Zambia but Zambia to me win here so sometimes you have surprises in the game and they're normal. We have surprises in the game. That's the game of football. But most times, minors are always minors and top level team are always top level team. So that here. Sometimes top level team of strength back from Kakra, the minors will pick inspirations from how these teams are also grinded to get to the top. But because surprise, it doesn't mean that it has entirely changed the face of football. Because as we speak, you cannot say Ebia Kotokwana has to minors. No. Real Madrid Ekobobo. Obviously, Real Madrid be go goals. I think Real Madrid is so much 23. Obviously, we go goals. But there was a time maybe I could be share Real Madrid, Real Madrid. So this year, it doesn't mean it has changed the entire face of football. There be. I want me to say and the La Liga, for instance, the team who lead the La Liga table, Girona. Nobody thought say Special Liga, Girona will be upon Regadio sitting on top of the league. Madrid ne Barcelona mo boa.
That's right. And it's just football no be but
it doesn't change the face of it entirely. Big teams are always big teams. The character, the history,
Ghana
the
is
attitude. Ghana is bigger than Cape Verde. Ghana national team is bigger than Cape Verde. Bigger than Mozambique.
Ghana big team. You better cup number. You better
bigger than them.
It was your for bet me afre 73266822122. WhatsApp line na 84826000913. Me fa calls be me no ofra na wachira wadwen Black Stars of Ghana ejina akoni yekwei ebeye yedie edie na uwe ni sum ewo team no se yebetimi akoyo ede abra Ghana yekoje cap no asofo no bi kura de omse Ghana ba cap no ebi mu kura predicted that na so ne bedu nso on the a pastor coach or my tactical advice right to the players dia 1 year na dia 1 year betimi aboa ntini nyina no eka ho ana agro no so yada mo nyina ase enche bia masore so na aye makora wabatua so ede ekosi premtobre na afidie yamaye muso enda ya memene da nti dwumadie bebre ne de yanim nti yebekọ emobi aba Until Black Stars, your first match against Keved, no, prediction.
2-1.
Against Ghana.
1-0 against Keved.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, 2-1. That's 1.
Just say meeting crash Ghana.
Dabio against Keved.
But who patches on meeting crowd the boy to at him?
Yeah, we will concede.
Now, one a bit to me as first.
Ghana.
Oh, your octopus.
Say 2-1. Say 2-1. Ghana be first. Like you have saying I shall do.
Octopus.
Say 1-0. Say 1-0. We shall 1-0 in the second half.
Yo. Now, Melfidus no Samed Salis, Baba Idrisu, Majid Ishmeru, Elisha Owusu, Richmond Lamte, Mohamed Kurus, are you here? Ransford, Konig, what yeah?
Gonesh
Joffa. I would have done. And Osman Bukari there. And then we have Joseph Pentel and Jordan Ayu as well as Ernest Nyama. I think it's about time my coach, Oma Ernest Nyama ye regular.
Yeah.
What I say? Boy, no to say he's poised for action, but they be 15 minutes be not the Obanso any impression ni na ne adio ye no a changing the face of the game. I don't know coach ni nyajidi wonimuno and also officer a junior and seniors will be sitting down on my. But we don't play like that, though.
Yeah, true. True. I think that the confidence level, only confidence in the player to start matches.
Oh my God!
Start games, and quite unfortunate. That is, and one thing I also say in the second half, so change the face of the game. I will say, game last year. I would say Antoine Semenyo. Me expect a coach in best start Antoine Semenyo in any of the games. Second half done in Abim. Second half, you bring Anton Semenyo, Ernest Nyama, and bring a midfielder bet to me a pushy balls no more. Then we go straight at them. But what was the second half? No, Boka Kofa, Anton Semenyo Aba. Now we are caught in a bench. I say, still no on Shada the core of the team near the idea. But I am what. And then Ernest Nyama is very, very good. So maybe a second half no be using. I also man the beam on them. Maybe a 68 minutes echo. No man a beam now. But sometimes we train about 10 minutes. Ya kill opponents and kill game. They will not find out the name.
Because we are winning players, they feel say young senior gumana yentimi ansha. Now the small boy naba. Yenny me feed no more on share. And that mentality they have it.
Oh, they have. Yeah, they have it.
They will not even feed him to bring the changes in the game. And as no. So you being the coach, I wouldn't say boy you're good no. Start him. And it's so bad. It's so bad of him.
Oh. Yeah, coaching there, I don't know. Most times Diana, I just don't know why, but
you should know why. You should know why.
In fact, it's already right game because we all see it say game will start way very good or start way good or the way time baby, but I don't know. It doesn't see it that way. It doesn't see it that way. So we see say we will watch him tomorrow and see the kind of way on the banana
say ya na yo petre na yo So we have the strikers Inaki Williams, Antoine Samaya and Jonathan Sowa. Jonathan Sowa so Omano.
Yeah, a boy against Liberia.
And how was it?
Yeah, they were my assist in the third goal. And on your bad of a player, a very good striker for media last season, J League, and it was on a Fojo. Yeah, only player Fojo. Yeah, we were very, very solid players for media team, in winning the Ghana Premier League for the first time, and also CAF Champions League. He's been very, very instrumental. In the team, and he's been part of the team since then. Against Madagascar, no Katino, against Comoros, no Katino. The other boy, Ghana, US, Ghana, Mexico, no Katino, and the one against Namibia, no Katino. So for him, when you have a couple of game time, by enough, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think 2 times pay. But apart from that, only a much more game time. But he's a very good striker, though. A very good striker in the Ghana Premier League. Last season, he was one of the top guys. Performing extremely well for me, to win the league. And for the CAF Champions League 2, or no leading medium attack on all the games on my body now so far. He's not a bad player, but if you give him chances, to me, I've proven beyond what we've seen. So it's a matter of chance and time. So to me, I'm on that time, but I doubt say coach in the man that time, no. At the expense of Inaki Williams, Antoine Semino. I doubt so. To me, I'm almost that time so. But that guy, Jonathan Sowa, is a very good striker. Yeah.
Alright, bushafo ya demo besi ya na ya soro so na makura abetua so agege tata ko wie prem dubre no na prem dubre ya maye musu a mo besi atenka bio na ye wochena no pa ya the live worship program on Sunday morning. Stay tuned. Nyoma ya hyehyeba no edoso ye pa na wo bom pa yen so a Ghana there we are used to that eka Black Stars ya oh mama ya mom pa ma Black Stars and yame de Ghana nko na odo yen do baby so statistics no ye very good. Oh se Ghana lusumpo a na se keved mpo ekohye we na se we ni wini na we bo drawer ye betimi akwalify ye good na ye ntra ho ye sa amfanku enim ye baji ye ni so ye frame abeko mene aye Joe Archery and di jumai face mask yaminsha bebre Mama Georgina. God bless you all those online watching us. We love you. We know this is not your usual taste, but when you sports, yepa, you might enjoy. We'll continue to give sports and let's blend the program to help us move on. God bless you. Makra is up next. Stay tuned.